Hey guys, Sean here. Today I've bought 3 of the new Crimson King structure deck. I want to make a deck using just 3 structure decks. Let's get into it. So we'll open one up here, we'll take a look at what's inside, and we'll go from there. So a lot of new Red Dragon Archfiend cards in this set. I'm very excited because they're actually pretty good. So let's open this bad boy here and see. Ooh, okay, didn't see this before. The Red Dragon Archfiend playmat. We got the new Scar Red Dragon Archfiend here. Very cool. As a rubber mat, that would be awesome. Alright, and here we go, the new boy, Soul Resonator. One of many new cards that make this deck actually pretty good. So let's get right into it. Alright, let's have a look here. We have Soul Resonator. When he's normal special summoned, you can add one, what is it, level 4 Fiend Tuner from your deck to your hand. Pretty good. We got here Vision Resonator. So when he's sent to grave, you can add a Red Dragon Archfiend spell or trap. Pretty cool. We got Red Dragon Archfiend, Red Rising Dragon, which is really good. Everyone's king, look at that. The human attribute. We have the Red Dragon Archfiend stats here. Your boy, Jack Atlas, pretty fucking cool. Red Supernova Dragon, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, of course, we love that card. Scarred Red Dragon Archfiend. Bone Archfiend, which is a really good card. And then, Dark Resonator, Creation Resonator, Synchron Resonator, Red Resonator, Crimson Resonator, probably one of the best cards. Vice Dragon, Battle Fader, let's go. Red Sprinter, Red Warg, okay. Wandering King, Wild Wind, pretty cool. Phantom King, Hydride. Magical King, Moonstar. Absolute King, Backjack, let's go play Labyrinths, let's go. We got here, oh god, Red Dragon Archfiend, Assault Mode. There we go, Assault Mode deck. Assault Beast, Side Reflector, Fire Ant Ascator, and then Ascator Dawnwalker. Danger Nessie, Danger Chupacabra, pretty cool. Witch of the Black Forest, nice OG card right there. Absolute Power Force. Crimson Gaia, nice new Searcher. We got Resonator Engine, Resonator Call, that's really nice. Resonator Command, Burning Soul, let's go. Pot of Extravagance, really bad in this deck to be honest. Fiendish Golem, cool new card. Red Zone, really good. King Synchro, Red Rain, Time to Stand Up, Fiendish Chain, again, nice callback to the good old days. Powerful Rebirth, Assault Mode Activate, Terrors of the Overroot, the Scarlight, Red Dragon Archfiend, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, probably the best card in the deck. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane, and Red Supernova Dragon. He's pretty bad, but he's very cool. Alright, let's see what we can build with 3 of these structure decks. Alright, here we go. We have turned 3 of the Red Dragon Archfiend structure deck into a competent Red Dragon Archfiend deck. It's actually not half bad. We have a little side deck here as well. So yeah, let's begin here by looking at the main deck. For the main deck here, we have 3 of your Soul Resonator. When he's summoned, you can add a level 4 or lower Tuner Fiend from your deck to your hand. So he is your 1-card starter. Mainly you're going to use him to search your Bone Archfiend, which basically is a 1-card combo into a pretty decent board. So yeah, 3 of him. We have 3 of the Bone Archfiend. You can discard a card from your hand or one from your field to special summon it. That's from your hand or grave, so it's a very good extender. Then you can target one monster you control, send 1 Fiend Tuner from your deck to the grave, and then you can increase or decrease its level by 1. So this is great for going into your Red Rising Dragon. You can also send any one of your basically Resonators, any basically card from the deck to the grave to get plays that way. So you can send some of your Resonators to get extenders, or you can send your Vision Resonator to get a spell trap. So 3 of that is a great option. Next up, we have 2 of your Vision Resonators. It's an extender because when you control a level 5 or higher Dark Synchro, you can special summon it. And when it's sent to grave, you can add a Red Dragon Archfiend spell trap from your deck to your hand. So this can trigger when you Synchro or when it's Foolish Burial, so great to have it too. Next up, your best extender in the deck, triple Crimson Resonator. You can special summon him if you control no monsters, and if the only other monster you control is a Dark Synchro, you can special summon 2 Resonator monsters from your deck. So he's your best extender, definitely run him at 3, your combos wouldn't work without him. Next up, we have 2 of your Synchron Resonator and 1 of your Creator Resonator. These are just generic extenders, this level 1, this level 3, so they can special summon themselves if you control a Synchro, and yeah, pretty much decent extenders. You need some level 1s, you need some level 3s, so pretty good. For the last Resonator, 1 Red Resonator, He's level 2, you can gain life points off him, which is pretty cool. And also if he's normal summoned, you can special summon one level 4 lower monster from your hand, so that can come in handy sometimes. For level 4 extenders, we run 3 of your Wandering King Wildwind. You can special summon him if you have a Fiend tuner on the field with 1500 or less attack, which is basically all of your tuners. He's also a Searcher. When he's in the graveyard, except the turn he's sent there, you can add a monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. So yeah, he's your main extender. Him and a level 2 Resonator is basically full combo. So yeah, 3 of him and 2 of your Witch of the Black Forest. Pretty cool OG card to see here. Serves the same purpose as Wild Wing, except you have to normal summon it. When it's sent to grave, you can add one monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand, which again is all your Resonators. However, you cannot activate their effects this turn. You're mainly going to use this to search your extenders because their summoning conditions are not effects, so you can still summon them. And then you can synchro off that way. And again, this and a Resonator is full combo. For the final monsters here, we have triple Ascator Dawnwalker, and then 1 Fire Ant Ascator. Ascator Dawnwalker, you can pitch a card to special summon it, and then a Fire Ant Ascator from your deck. This is just a mini Synchro 8 engine here that's pretty good in the deck. Onto the spells now, we have triple Crimson Gaia, one of the new cards in the set. During your main phase, you can add one Red Dragon Archfiend or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. So that searches you with a lot of different cards, which is very good. So when one of your Red Dragon Archfiends attacks, you can Book of Moon all your opponent's monsters. And then if a monster on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Red Dragon Archfiend from your graveyard. So just a broken card. It searches you, it can Book of Moon your opponent's field, it can revive your cards. It's a continuous spell, so you can use it once every turn. So yeah, definitely a great card to have, and it's very easily searchable using your Vision Resonator. Now for some consistency cards, 3 Resonator Call, just adds a Resonator from your deck to your hand, and then 3 of your Resonator Command, which is essentially the same thing. You discard a Resonator, then you add one level 4 or lower Fiend monster from your deck to your hand. So this can search you any of your Resonators or some of your extenders, like your Wandering King Wildwind. Next up, 1 Absolute Power Force. You can target one of your Red Dragon Archfiends. When it attacks, it gains 1000 attack, it does piercing, it does double battle damage, and your opponent can activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So, fantastic card. Run it at 1 because this is mainly a going second card to help you OTK, but yeah, definitely a great OTK card. Onto the traps now, we have 1 of the new Red Zone. When your opponent activates a card or effect while you control a Red Dragon Archfiend or a Synchro monster that mentions it, you can pop a card in the field, and then you can also target one of your banished Dark Dragon Synchro monsters and special summon it. You can use both effects per turn. This works really well with your Crimson Gaia because that will trigger Crimson Gaia's effect to special summon a card from the graveyard. And yeah, it's just a fantastic one of to run in the deck. Alongside triple Red Rain, you can probably cut this down to maybe 2 or even 1 if you want. You can't search it, so that's why 3 is pretty good. If you control a level 8 or higher Synchro monster, you can banish all monsters on the field except the monster with the highest level, and then all the face-up monsters on the field after that are unaffected by card effects until the end of the turn. You can also bring this card back from the grave when you Synchro summon a Dark Synchro. So definitely run this at least 1. 2 is probably best, but 3 is pretty good. And finally, we have your Fiendish Golem, which you can target a monster on the field with 2000 or more attack and banish it until the end of the turn. And after that, if you control a Red Dragon Archfiend monster, you can set 1 Fiendish Chain ready from your deck. And we run triple Fiendish Chain. So, you don't have any hand traps in this deck, so this works as like a pseudo imperm. You target 1 effect monster on the field, negate its effects, and it cannot attack until Fiendish Chain goes off the field. So yeah, pretty good card to have. You can run it on the side if you want, but I think 3 in the main is pretty decent. Onto the extra deck now, we have triple Red Rising Dragon. This card is actually insane because it's not once per turn, it's a level 6, so it's pretty easy to synchro into. And when he's synchro summoned, you can target 1 Resonator monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Also, if he's in the graveyard except the turn he was sent there, you can banish him to special summon 2 of your level 1 Resonators from your graveyard. So he's great follow-up, great for getting your combos back off if your opponent destroys your board. So yeah, definitely run him at 3. Next up, 2 copies of the OG Red Dragon Archfiend. So when he attacks a defense position monster, you can destroy all defense position monsters your opponent controls. And then during the end phase, you destroy all monsters you control that did not battle this turn. So you don't really want to end on him. However, if you do, your Soul Resonator can banish itself from grave to protect all your monsters. But most of the time when you summon him, you want to be able to synchro him off as soon as possible. But 2 copies is pretty good, definitely good during the battle phase, so definitely at least run 1, but 2 is pretty good. Next up, 2 of the new Scarred Dragon Archfiend, a great new card. His name becomes Red Dragon Archfiend when on the field or in the grave, which is very important for a lot of your cards. When he is sent to the grave, you can special summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from your extra deck. If he leaves the field because he was used as synchro material for a Dark Synchro, you can destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. So, just a fantastic card. Next up, 1 Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. This mainly comes up in time. You can destroy all of the special summon cards in the field with attack less than his, and then you burn your opponent for 500 for each. So he's great for clearing boards, but he's also great for winning in time, so definitely run 1 of him. Next up, 2 of your Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. The fact that this deck can make him so consistently is fantastic. He's a quick effect, target a card in the field and negate it. As many of you already know, this deck can play around cards like Dark Ruler, because you can use the effect of your trap card Red Zone in response, and then you can respond with your Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss to target the Dark Ruler and negate it. So, just a fantastic card. Can negate anything every turn, so fantastic, run him at 2. Next up, 2 of your Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. Again, very easy to get out in this deck, and he can tribute a monster to special summon one of your Red Dragon Archfiend monsters from your graveyard. So, great extender, he's very strong, 3500 attack. When he does battle damage, you can special summon 2 Resonator monsters, one from your deck and one from your grave, and yeah, he's just a pretty damn good monster to run. Finally, for level 12, we have Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. So we all know about the King Calamity lock. If he's summoned on your opponent's turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects for the rest of the turn. This deck can achieve this, however, that's in the side deck. But he's a pretty good boss monster. If your opponent has a board already set up and you get him out, their board is basically dead. So yeah, definitely run him at 1 at the very least. Finally, we have Red Supernova Dragon. Gains 500 attack for each tuner in your grave, so you'll easily get him up to 6k. When your opponent activates a monster effect or attacks, you can banish all cards your opponent controls and itself. Now the funny thing is, you can use your Red Zone to bring him back, and his effect is not once per turn, so you can just use it again. So definitely run Red Supernova Dragon at 1. And finally, we have Red Nova Dragon. This is probably the worst card in the extra deck, but he's very cool and he has some use. So he's not very good. You could definitely replace him with another Red Supernova Dragon, but he's fairly easy to get out. You just need Red Dragon Archfiend and 2 tuners. So your Red Dragon Archfiend is level 8 and you just need 2 level 2 tuners. 3500, he can come up in certain situations, so in this structure deck build, you should definitely run him at 1. Finally, little side deck here. So the main purpose of this side deck, this deck does not give you many good side deck cards. So my main goal with this is to go for the King Calamity lock on your opponent's turn. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to run 3 of your Danger Nessies and 3 of your Danger Chupacabras. This is mainly for draw power. Draw power will be pretty important because you want to go into your Burning Soul, which is a quick play spell that lets you synchro summon on your opponent's turn, which can get you into your King Calamity. It also adds a card back from your grave to your hand, which can be pretty good for follow-up. Even if you run hand traps, you can also add a hand trap back from your grave to your hand, which is pretty cool. And next up, we have a little mini trap engine here, Absolute King, Backjack, and your Terrors of the Overroot. Just, a mini trap package if you're up against a matchup where you need kind of to play more defensively or build more interruptions. This is a nice little package to run here. So that's it for the 3 structure deck Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile. So this deck is actually pretty damn good for what you're paying for it. 3 structure decks can build you a pretty good Red Dragon Archfiend deck. It has a lot of strengths. A lot of these monsters are really strong. It's mainly, a battle deck. You have really strong monsters. You don't really put up much negate, you just go for raw power. And that's what Red Dragon Archfiend's always been about. This deck can go very well with cards like Bestials, so a Bestial Red Dragon Archfiend deck is probably the best way to go. Yeah, it's fairly cheap if you want to go that route as well. So yeah, definitely give this a shot. Even the pure version is very strong. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any suggestions for the pure build or for, a different build I can build in the future, let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching.